Hi and welcome to ECCB Connects. In this program, the Moses family continues to share with us how they are managing their family finances. They discuss the importance of investing and insurance and what they are doing to build a strong financial future for themselves and their children.
You get up early, you do not know what's going to face you. But you within yourself as an individual want the best throughout the day that God bless you with. And every day is just a day where you go out there to make the best of life and make sure that your children could have a better future.
Do you engage in any specific savings habits or any investment habits? How do you really put money aside to ensure that tomorrow could be as bright as possible for your family?
Well, right about now, I do a lot of investing. One of the investing that me and my wife basically in is real estate.
Okay.
We see ourselves that saving is important, but it's what you do with your money that can your first and second generation, as the Bible says, can get a blessing out of it and build on that, because we know that we ain't gonna be here forever. But the good news is that what impact you can provide to make sure that your kids come up, and not only your kids but your generation, your grandchildren and also.
Well, I like that. I mean, it tells me that you are already doing something to put yourself in a good financial space. And you're not only thinking about yourself, you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about the kids. And that really sets off some alarms in my head, telling me about generational wealth. Have you ever thought about possibly getting an insurance policy that caters specifically to building generational wealth for your family?
Some people have their views about insurance, but basically my view is that you're securing the future, even though you don't know what the future, because we're living in a time now where things happen.
Exactly.
And sometimes things depends on how severe the situation be. You really need somebody that you can lean back on.
Yes.
So insurance to me is like the cushion that I leaning back on right now.
Nice.
That you know that somebody got your back. For the ones that don't see it as a necessity, is that you find that you're paying this money, whether you have a small insurance or 120, let me just say for instance $120 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you find that a family, a single mom, family of 5 children, working for a small wage, you find out that individual think more about what is in front of them. You got to pay bills, you got to buy food, and nobody really bracing you. And to pay $120 when you only getting $360, that become a challenge.
Yes.
And some of them go so far and say it's better if I put this money on the bank, knowing that whenever I need it, I could go right away and get it. Those are some of the challenges that people see within insurance, that you can't get a liquid cash right away for dealt with the situation that you face.
So I can relate to my husband, because we were married at a young age. We didn't think of insurance because it wasn't a part of our finances. We didn't have that income to cap insurance, so we were just studying about providing our needs at the time. But as we got older, we got a little more wiser. We thought about securing our children. We start to get children, and we realize that these children are in front of us, and we have to make sure they are comfortable in the future and they are secured. So I think I agree with my husband in that term, that the insurance needs to find avenues to cater for those who are less fortunate, who works in factories, who works as cashiers, as backpackers, as shelf maintenance. Those persons need to be catered for, because they need the insurance, but they do not have the finances to meet it.
And one more thing from an insurance viewpoint, if you can teach people how to, take a $50 or $100, you can put it in some kind of investment. Meanwhile, you paying your insurance for any unknown situation in the future, you're still growing. So I want to encourage, and I want to see that the insurance policy encourage people on that pathway too.
Absolutely.
And as my husband was speaking about, in the high school, sensitize the children about, investment, insurance at an early age, because at that time they're thinking about going to university, finding a job. There is no cap where they're thinking about, insurance or anything, because they're more rely on their parents at that time. But they can start early because I think it's much cheaper at an earlier age. So I think the insurance companies need to educate them at an early age.
Correct. Well, I'm in full agreement with everything that each of you just said. And, that is why it is so important for us to have these sessions so that we can also play our role in sensitizing the general public, in sharing this information, in having this open dialogue so persons can get different perspectives on insurance as well as general finance. You did speak about persons who might have a limited budget and how do insurance companies cater to those persons. Now, I would say as it relates to finances of any type or investments of any type, there is always some element of sacrifice that has to be made. You can't put nothing in and get something out. You did mention, of course, Mr. Moses, that you are a farmer. If you don't put a seed in the ground, then you can't get a tree sprouting. And even when you do put the seed in the ground, it does take some time to germinate. So we have to understand in life that no matter where we are starting from, we always have to put something in to get something out. And it doesn't necessarily have to be insurance. It could be that your income only allows you to maybe put aside $20 on a weekly basis, but you have to be committed to putting that money aside, even if it is in the most simple way, where you put it in a jar or you put it in a drawer, and you commit yourself to putting that money aside where you can then utilize it in the future. That is really the foundation and the fundamental steps toward building wealth. Now, to persons who want to invest in insurance, there are so many different insurance policies that one can utilize. Some would cost a bit more than others, and the reality is that everybody won't be able to make the same investment because everybody doesn't have the same income, everybody has different challenges. But there are pension plans that start at $100 for many companies. If somebody commits his or herself to saving $100 on a monthly basis, investing that in a pension plan, it can give them some future financial stability where they can take care of themselves, and that would put them in a position to better take care of their loved ones, of their families. For someone who might be able to invest a bit more, they can consider an endowment plan, which is a life insurance policy that pays that person a lump sum of money at the end of a specific period of time. So that is another investment that somebody can commit themselves to putting money into to secure a brighter and more prosperous future for themselves and their loved ones. And what I would say about investments in general, finance in general, information is key. You spoke about insurance being in schools. I'm a firm advocate for that. That is actually something that I particularly want to commit myself toward, because I believe even if I had learned about insurance when I was in school, I would have been even quicker to make an insurance investment when I was younger. But again, we are playing a very instrumental role, even in this session, of encouraging persons to get out there, to find out about insurance, to do the research, to come into the insurance company, to learn more about finance, so that they can put themselves in a better financial position when they are able to do so. So I must thank you for being a part of this, and even thank myself, for committing ourselves to sharing this valuable information to the general public.
And now for this week's financial tip.
Start saving today. Any savings, no matter how small, add up. $1 a day gives $365 a year.
Here's where we end this week's episode of ECCB Connects. The Moses family shared with us the deliberate steps they are taking to build a solid financial future for themselves and their children. They are saving, investing, and using insurance to grow and protect their wealth. They are doing it, and so can you. Just start today. Thanks for watching. We invite you to join us next week for another program.